the decision by your boss to concede in the 2024 elections appears to have, triggered some reactions by some of his fiercest contenders. And here, Ken Agyapong, where in the video that was making waves, had gone very viral. Must have been yesterday or 2 days ago, where he was saying that he will never concede defeat until the Electoral Commission finally declares, and that he's not a coward, and so on and so forth. I mean, do you have anything to say about those comments?
Yeah. See, Moro.
And again, and closely related to that is some movements that we're beginning to see. Natoshi, who's the former administrator of the District Assembly Common Fund, right? And then also there's one other chap who's also has some visibility. I've forgotten who the person is. The two of them have joined Ken Agyapong's campaign, and what some persons who are critical of your campaign are saying that yes, the campaign is good. I'm out for Johnny.
So I will address that issue as well.
Okay.
And very quickly, so we can move to other issues.
Right.
See, Moro, in 2016, we won the election overwhelmingly with 1 million votes difference and 169 members of parliament. By 2020, that number of votes had declined by 500,000. The 1 million had declined to 500,000. In fact, we had to wait for Ashanti region to come in for the Electoral Commission to declare the president the winner. Our strongest hold to come in. In Parliament, we declined from 169 to 137. It took the member of Parliament, who happens to be, I think, second or first deputy speaker from Fomena, to give us 138. But literally, it was a hung Parliament. So the first question is, did we have to concede early for our votes or our seats to decline from 169 to 137? Did we concede early in 2020 elections? Was there any pronouncement at any time? There is one simple fact, and that is what is eluding our opponents on the other side.
Okay.
The Ghanaians want to tell us something. The Ghanaians are communicating to us that yes, you achieved so much, but there were a few things we were not happy with. So when Ghanaians went to the polls in 2024, they took a decisive decision to vote against us. Nothing could have changed that. What that means is that the NPP needs a calm down ship, not a showdown ship. What we need to do is to calm down, reflect soberly, and think about the things that didn't excite Ghanaians and how we can prosecute a new agenda and win their trust back. Because when by 5 p.m. the polls were closed, the decisions were already made. Is someone telling me that if Bawumia had conceded later, our seats would have gone to 157 or 180 or 200? The point I am making to you is this. It is an arrogant posture when you posit as though you are not the problem, but the Ghanaians are. It is the same arguments they make when they raise the issues of tribalism. Ghanaians didn't vote for Bawumia because he's a Muslim. Ghanaians didn't vote for Bawumia because he's a northerner. When you do that, what you are essentially telling Ghanaians is that to hell with your advice. To hell with all the warnings you are giving us. You Ghanaian, you are a tribal bigot. You Ghanaian, you are a religious bigot. You didn't vote because of a religion or because of a tribe. It's disrespectful to Ghanaians. Because the fact remains that I sit here and I say that Akufo-Addo is one of the most performing presidents in the history of this republic. And that time will vindicate him, especially when it comes to achievements. But it remains a fact that even within our own camp, people were not happy. It remains a fact when you go back to the Osafo-Maafo committee report. In fact, the General Secretary in our recent thank you tour gave a summary of the Okwe report. And the first thing he said was that in the Okwe report, they also referenced the Osafo-Maafo report, that recommendations made in the Osafo-Maafo report were not utilized or implemented. What does that mean? There were warning signs. Did we listen? Did we make amends? Let's humble ourselves. Let's calm down and stop the needless show of bravado. Because that's not what Ghanaians are looking for. What Ghanaians are looking for is a complete sense of renewal. That look, you gave us a mandate. We had severe challenges out of our control. When given another chance, we'll do better. That is the message Ghanaians want to hear.
Okay.
Ghanaians are not interested in the fight you want to fight. Ghanaians are not interested in what you said, being a coward or whatever. Being being a showdown man or being this or that does not reduce the price of pepper. Does not reduce the price of petrol. It doesn't change anything for anybody. In any case, we've had people and leaders who were even stronger and spoke their minds more than Ken Agyapong. Rawlings is an example. In fact, our history is replete with examples of leaders who came with guns and more firebrand than Ken Agyapong. Where did that end us?
Okay.
What it means is that the nation needs pragmatism, ideas, a calm down ship, not a showdown ship. So the fact remains that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's decision was a decision to entrench the peace that we are already enjoying. Lastly, they make the point that Ghana was not burning. But nobody has said that Ghana was burning. When Adam and I come and sit here, we come here peacefully. But it doesn't mean we can't end up fighting. It must take a tacit decision between the two of us to be civil. Is that not so? So it took a tacit decision of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to remain civil, to keep the country first, to remember the youth of this country. Because indeed, there were gunshots. Were there not? Were there not gunshots? So where is this? I'm not a coward. I would have fought. I would have done this. I mean, it's not necessary. Let's humble ourselves. Let's admit where we were wrong and tell Ghanaians why we can do and why we will do better when given the opportunity. And lastly, on the appointees about Natoshi.
Yes.
It's so interesting. Because the other side runs a campaign that says, don't vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Because when you vote for him, he's going to run his government with Akufo-Addo's appointees. Interestingly, when Akufo-Addo's appointees join them, then they start celebrating. So yesterday when Natoshi joined them, they started celebrating, forgetting that Natoshi was an Akufo-Addo appointee.
Okay, so I guess that you can end it here.
I mean, there's a lot I can.
You've made a point, but